It's longer, though. I apologize.
Just putting on the Ritz. That's what you're playing?
Yeah. Where the hell did it go?
My favorite song ever, Leo. He's so good. Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Ah, meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. coffee's so good, it's scary.
And here we are now live on another episode of The Wicked Horror Show, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. And Kevin wanted to remind me that, with the Deadly Grounds ad, I keep on forgetting to say it's free shipping on orders over $50. And it's so easy to buy that much worth of coffee because, that's what you do with good coffee, right there, Kevin?
Yeah, and I just want to point out that was still a very white theme song. It reminds me of the new Nickelback hit called 15 Years Ago. I don't know if that's called. And that was also extremely long intro. We whittled that down a bit. It was 5 minutes long. That's ridiculous.
It is, but it's not an intro. It gives me a chance to do all the background.
Take a nap and do your taxes.
Well, it's just a starting soon video, so I can get everything ready.
But it's a lie because it's not starting soon. It's like 10 minutes from then. Anyway, how you doing, everybody?
Yeah. Tony's here.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our awesome guests?
Sure. Let me just say this is, our, the first time we're trying this. As you could tell, it's indie shorts. So what I thought, we had a few directors and people on that made shorts before, and trying to stretch it to an hour without giving the entire short away was a little bit difficult, Besides, we on our podcast, we sidetrack and go into different things. But I thought, try something a little new, have a few people on for different shorts, talk about their how they did it, their thoughts behind it. And then at the end, maybe bounce ideas off each other that, maybe they didn't know, or secrets behind the trade or something along those lines. But this is what you're watching, so it's a first time try, inaugural episode, I guess you want to call it. So let me get into it before I talk way too much. I don't know which direction you're going, Leo. So how do you want to do it?
Let's start with Shawn.
All right. So Shawn Wright, he has 2 shorts actually that he sent over. They're on Vimeo right now. Spirit Board, Doorway to Death, and Night of the Axe. How are you, Shawn?
There's a bit of a delay.
Let's see. Is he frozen?
I don't know.
While we wait for Shawn to come back, why don't we head on over to these fine people here?
So Jerks Productions, they have a short called Devine Insperation. So how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Very good. And then Daniel Pike, Acrylic is, hopefully I said that right.
Like the paint. The acrylic paint.
So
or the nails, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So it's each short is completely different and differently shot and everything. So like I said, first episode, I thought, why not try something? Maybe each one of you guys want to talk about your short in, I don't know how much detail you want to give away or how much you want to give away, but I thought, maybe that's the best way to start. So
yeah, and just a quick reminder as we talk about these shorts, if you check the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, we have the link to all our guests there, and actually all shorts should be available to watch tonight. All of them are about roughly about 10 to 15 minutes, and excellent way to get yourself involved in indie cinema.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess we can start it off with how you guys got involved in filmmaking. If you want to go through maybe and start with that, like how long have you all been involved in filmmaking? So I don't know do we have Shawn? Are you? Can you hear me, Shawn? Yes. No.
He's moving.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. It's a little bit of a delay. So
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes. So yeah, if you want to maybe just talk a little bit about how you got into filmmaking, like how long you've been doing it, and what your inspiration is.
Well, I've only been doing it now. I got started with it, I don't know, probably 2017 or so. It's something I always wanted to do since I was, younger, shortly out of high school. Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do, and then I just decided that I was tired of, just thinking about it. I would actually do it. Yeah.
Nice. And you have you have two shorts that we're able to watch, and one of them is.
I just released that.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my first short. That's Night of the Axe. That one's a little longer.
Nice. And you were saying earlier before we started the show that you're actually working on making it into like a feature length. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm making a feature-length version of Night of the Axe. I'm intending on that probably near the end of the year.
Okay. Hopefully, with everything that's going on with the whole pandemic thing, I know it's tough for a lot of filmmakers. Some filmmakers are still doing it, but it's they're taking like the little risks there. But let's move on. I guess maybe to the Jerks Productions peeps, and if you guys can talk maybe a little bit about what got you guys started and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, so for at least on my part, I've been doing it since I was like an early teen. I was heavily influenced by the Jackass films, and CKY was my initial start into filmmaking. Jackass films and CKY. Just doing dumb shit with my friends.
Yeah.
And the horror route kind of came in of like when I saw Evil Dead 2 for the first time, and it was the same mentality of just like friends getting together and doing something, and that's essentially what I wanted to do.
I jumped in about 8 years ago when Brandon needed help doing a zombie movie, so I figured out how to make zombies for his film. So I started off with special effects, and then I moved more into producing and helping to direct and edit scripts and do all the things that are needed. So
nice. So you both direct, or you both is one of them? One of you guys like strictly a writer, or like how are you guys involved in the production like company itself?
Essentially, we share a lot of hats. Like I'll write and direct. Jill will produce it and co-direct everything that's going on, oversee everything, keep me in line of things because I go off the rails a lot.
I'll jump in sometimes doing makeup and then run off to the corner to go set up crafty and food and jumping back and forth. So it's really just like we just divide up tasks of what need to be done and just get it done. We have when we have a crew, sometimes it's one or two people that help us out on a shoot, but mostly it's the two of us. So we just jump in where needed. So
and how many projects do you guys have like completed like so far with the production company?
I want to say like we had a web series going on for a while, like at least like 10 or 15 projects at this point, if not more.
I think it's closer to 20 at this point. We've had a lot of ridiculous, small things. Some things were only a few minutes, or we did a couple 15-second entries for the 15-second horror contest. So closer to 20-ish.
A mini collection, we can say.
A mini collection, yeah.
Do you guys have any features, or are they all like on the shorter side?
They're all on the shorter side. We're hopefully going into production of our first feature by the end of this year. We have that script fully done, plus 2 other feature scripts that are done. So now that we've had like enough experience with short films, music videos, and stuff like that, we're ready to go forth and do a feature film. We're looking to shoot a trailer by the end of the summer to help raise some funds and get some attention for it.
Nice. I don't know, Daniel, if you want to jump in and talk about how you've been involved in the filmmaking industry.
Well, it all started back in, so it was basically my dad bought a camera for me when I was in high school from Sears. It was this crappy little camera that shot on mini DV tapes, but it did the job. I just would shoot stuff with my cousins in the backyard, growing up. But this is actually my first foray into directing something kind of quasi-professional for myself. I've done like production assistant work and acting stuff on the side for a few years now, but screenwriting is like one of my biggest passions, and I was kind of frustrated that nobody wanted to make anything that I wrote, so I decided to do it myself, basically.
Nice. And yeah, it's very, it's a very polished looking short as well. Like, it's visually, it's it looks, I don't know what equipment you're using, but it definitely looks like it's you know what you're doing on that end of it for sure. So yeah, I mean it's a cool cool visual part of it, and there's actually some little some scares for sure that are in the short. And that's one thing that Tony had brought up is you guys are all, we always talk about subgenre. You guys all have like a favorite subgenre of horror, because even though you guys are all horror and there may be some similarities between you guys' shorts, they're still completely different, And that's one thing when people just like, oh, I don't like horror movies. I don't like Friday the 13th, whatever. Like not every movie's Friday the 13th, and you're wrong because Friday the 13th is awesome. So, but yeah, you could maybe just talk a little bit about your favorite subgenres and what you tend to lean towards. Who wants to start?
Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, I'll break the ice here.
Right.
When it comes to subgenre, I guess I lean more toward like I love gore. I love the most obnoxious things possible, but I think I find myself going towards more like supernatural kind of things. A lot of exorcism stuff, because those are like the only things that kind of make me jump and get a little jittery. Like I still can't watch Hellraiser really, because that movie still scares the living hell out of me. It's one of my favorites, but it still scares me. Yeah. I think that's what I lean more towards.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm always more into suspense. Like I'm always more scared of what's hiding in the shadow than the actual monster itself.
Yeah.
So I'm more that route.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that too. Like, monsters, they're one thing, but like something that could really be real is terrifying to me. That's why, like, I tell people, like, The Stranger is terrifying to me. Mm-hmm. Like, that movie is, I don't know, because it could happen. Nightmare on Elm Street's not going to happen, so I'm good with it.
How do you know it's not going to happen?
But I said so. All right.
Leo's going to make it happen out of nowhere. Yeah. Leo's going to be haunting in your dreams in the back corner, and
you're going to do marionette and shove my head in the TV. I don't know. So,
well, no, actually, I was going to say is, since we're talking about these shorts, should we show some of the trailers?
Sure.
Yeah. Now I believe we have from Jerks Productions.
Where did you get the name, by the way? Like, is it going back to your love of CKY and stuff like that?
It is actually, yeah. It was kind of like it was like a group effort of like, well, they're jackasses. We're just kind of jerks to each other, of just hurting each other any chance that we got. So it just kind of stuck.
Now, do you ever mix any of that kind of humor into your movies? Like, have a big monster movie where the monster just like is running through a park shitting everywhere, or like?
No, none of that. The horror films are more on the serious side.
Okay. All right.
We have Joe Franz.
We did have a good friend of ours, Joe Franz, he produced a bunch of CKY and him music videos and shot like Viva La Bam and Jackass. He came on and did one of our very first shorts about a clown statue that comes to life, and he tries to seduce it, and it throws him through a table. So there was some
nice.
Little bit of elements of that.
Yeah. So we have the trailer for Devine Insperation. Would you guys like to do a little synopsis?
Yeah, I talked.
So Devine Inspiration follows a group of college students as they meet Jesse Valentine, an artist, and they basically discover his greatest masterpiece. And we insulted a lot of people along the way making the project, and we love it.
It's all right.
There we go.
Okay, so our first goal of the night is B-roll. So let's get people talking, schmoozing, all of the art on the walls, and I mean all of the art. And once we're finished, we'll find Jesse and interview her.
This is actually really exciting. I've never had anyone want to shoot me or my stuff before.
Oh yeah, we're really excited to be here too.
Yeah, man, it's really gonna help us pass.
Don't listen to him, he's just joking around.
Yeah, of course, obviously. Let's go to my studio, and we can do the interview there. And you guys can get some pretty fantastic footage. You see, I didn't really view religion as sacred as they did. I saw it as torture porn in a way. And I loved it.
Okay, you guys rolling?
Grace, why don't you join me over here? And behold. My name is Jesse Valentine, and I am an abstract artist.
Well, I'm offended. It's official.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah. How dare you? Anyway, but yeah. So when did that short come out?
It's not officially out just yet. It'll be out on the 31st.
Friday.
This Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because we submitted it to a bunch of festivals. It got accepted, and then they all got canceled and postponed. And
Well, we shot back in December.
Yeah.
So it's still fairly recent, but then the world ended in the process of releasing. So it's been hanging out.
Yeah, we felt like it was kind of due time of like, let's put it out into the world, let everyone see it, and let's move on to the next thing. Not to like brush it under the carpet or anything, but it's just like we want to get it out there for everybody so that way we can feel, ready to go forward.
Yeah, nice. And it's when it's released on the 31st. Like I know we saw it on YouTube. Is it live on YouTube, or is it like invitation only kind of thing right now?
Right now it's under an unlisted link. Under Friday, I think the link you guys got is the unlisted one. Friday it'll be live. It'll be a premiere at 7:00.
Oh, nice, sweet. So yeah, be on the lookout for that and check out their Facebook and everything. Obviously, and keep an eye on that. And hopefully, Shawn, I don't know if the delay is super bad, but if you want to maybe just talk a little bit about your two films, like the newest one, if that's one you want to focus on more. But yeah, just maybe talk a little bit about those.
So yeah, I have two shorts. My first one is Night of the Axe. It's a gory slasher film, very old school. At least I tried to keep it old school. It's sort of a group of girls having a house party, and this crazy mass killer comes in and starts slaughtering them one by one. It's pretty gory. My newer short is Spirit Board: Doorway to Death. That's more of a supernatural, atmospheric sort of slasher. Still gore in it, of course, but that's more of like a atmosphere. Sort of like, lots of blue lights and stuff like that. Yeah, and the Night of the Axe, I'm making a full-length version of that one. At least I'm working on it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like I was saying earlier. It's like the differences in the almost the subgenre. Like you're definitely, especially with like the first one, the Axe one. It's definitely more of like a slasher feel, but it does bring it back to like old school slashers from even like. Almost like late 80s, early 90s kind of thing, like something that I would pick up. I would just see a cool cover at the VHS like rental place and be like, all right, I'm gonna check this out, and be like, this is ridiculous and it's awesome. It's just over the top kills and it's it's good time. And with all three of your shorts, one of the with your two and Jerk's production and the other one as well, they're all. They could easily expand into something, feature, I would think. Do you agree with me, Tony?
Yeah, definitely, because we've had a few shorts on, and sometimes we have that argument whether it's, in that whatever, some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are 10 minutes. If, you could make a full length with those. And it's one of those deals where sometimes it's like you got enough in that 10 minutes where you're like, how are you going to stretch for time kind of deal? Can it be made into a full length? But with all the shorts that I watch and everybody on here, you could definitely expand on it, whether it be the characters learning behind it, or what was going on, or just furthering the story. So all of the shorts, everyone watching here should definitely go and check them all out. But it's one of those things where I think you can have full-length features of all these shorts.
Yeah, even like the one that we just watched, like that would be just like that'd be like a good intro to the movie. Like that, like it totally would just set you up. Like now you want to know, like, okay, how did this dude get here, and where is he going next? Like, you know, where going to happen? You know, what's going to happen to these people? So it's it definitely, you know, there's a lot of unanswered questions that pop into my my big dumb head when I watch these things. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And so Daniel, I don't know if you want to talk about your short a little bit.
Sure. My short, kind of talking about influences before, I'm a big fan of like more supernatural horror. I'm kind of new to the whole horror genre because my partner introduced me to a lot of interesting horror films that I'd never seen before, including Friday the 13th. Somehow it fell off my radar.
It happens.
Yeah. So, and I kind of went down like a horror rabbit hole. So this film is about it's about a girl who needs some art for her apartment walls, and she goes into like an art studio, and this mysterious curator woman sells her this really old demented piece of art that my main character is kind of intrigued by, and she takes it home, and basically some spooky things happen with this haunted painting.
I agree. It is an intriguing piece of art because I legit would be like, when they showed it, I'm like, I would totally put that in my office. I would.
Interesting fact: it took 69 glue sticks to make that piece of art to make it look like dripping acrylic paint, but I didn't. The acrylic was too wet, so I had to use glue sticks and spray paint to make it happen. But yeah, it was
great. I mean, it looks gross. like you want to touch it. Like it's one of those things where, like, I just want to touch it to see like.
Yeah. It reminded me. Part of it was like, if you ever seen the raft from Creep Show, where that thing you just want to touch it and then it engulfs you and eats you, kind of deal. Well, that had to me not exactly like that, but I'm like, that's gonna touch it and it's gonna just eat me. But
yeah.
Well, we do have the trailer, and here we go.
I need some art for my apartment walls. Interested?
I'm also offended by that.
I'm offended by the non-color corrected footage I use.
You're a director. You're a filmmaker. I don't notice that.
And you said this was your first one, and you're already saying no. I'm.
You worked in other films, but you just didn't make your own.
Yeah, it's really my first foray into doing this all on my own. I actually wore way too many hats with this production. That's something I would definitely not do in this second time around. There's, I think, like I wrote, directed, edited, music, like it was ridiculous. And I think next time coming around, I would definitely have more. I'm kind of looking for my tribe here in Toronto too, because I'm actually from a really small town. Right across the river from Detroit called Windsor, and there's a really vibrant film community there, but there's unfortunately just no work, paid work anyway. So moving to Toronto was me trying to find creative people to work with around me. So it's definitely an interesting experience first time around, and there's a lot of crazy things on set, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But yeah. I'm happy with it.
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. I thought they were all great in their own way, and so yeah. I mean, I always wait till like the last minute to watch stuff. So unfortunately, there's times where like I'll watch something and be like, oh, this is not very good, and I have to go talk to them for an hour now. But it seems like lately we've been getting a lot of like really good stuff, and you know, I literally right before I came on, I sat here and I watched all of them with the projector and everything, so it was nice and big on the screen, and it was cool. And yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. They're ones that I would watch again for sure. And you know, with everything that's going on in the like the world, with everything being canceled, like conventions and all these other things, have you guys thought of like possibly doing any other thing besides just releasing the shorts? Like, have you heard of anything like a virtual film festival or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, we participated in one. Devine played in the what was it called? The Severed Limbs Film Festival. It was called. Mm-hmm. It was like a Facebook watch party thing, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we did, as I was saying in the chat before we went live, Deadly Ground sponsored one of ours. We hosted like a halfway to Halloween one where we had a bunch of like indie shorts play on our YouTube channel, and we had about like an hour and a half worth of short films that were played.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if you know there could be more of that stuff, you know, because I mean, I've only been, I mean, I can count on like one finger how many film festivals I've been to, because I've been to one, but it was awesome, and I want to go back to more, and then the world fell apart, and then, you know, things. So
one of the big film festivals that I was selected for last year, called the Blood in the Snow Festival in Canada, they're going completely online this year, so they're having like online screening parties, and it's really interesting to see how they've shifted everything to kind of, you know, I think the Toronto International Film Festival is doing the same thing, where they have all these like huge, you know, Hollywood films they need to showcase, but how do you know, sell tickets to that? So I think they're finding a way to sell digital screeners to people, kind of like this, where you'd log into like in a you know, live stream, and you watch the show that way. So really interesting.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things I'm thinking like, oh, they should be able to do this and do this, because I know like a lot of people are concerned with piracy and stuff like that. So you know, it's there's a way around it. It's just it's not free. You know, it's going to cost people money. But yeah, what about you, Shawn? Have you had your movies in any film festivals before the world punched us in the face?
Well, I didn't really go the film festival route with my most recent one. I didn't really bother too much with that, because with Night of the Axe, I did a couple festivals, and they most of it was that they didn't really care about it for the most part. I did get there was the Inner Hall Awards. So it's an online thing. They nominated me for a couple things. I won like Best Kill or something like that. So that's pretty cool. But besides that, I didn't really mess with the film festival route this time, and especially with the pandemic thing, I'm not gonna mess with it. But probably with the full length, I might look into it. But
yeah. It's one thing, like we talked to a lot of like first time filmmakers and like, you know, newer filmmakers, and a lot of them kind of focus on the film festivals back when, you know, it was the thing to do, and it's also very expensive for a lot of those. A lot of times you got to pay to submit, and then, you know, if you're getting accepted and, you know, 100 other people got accepted, when are they going to show your movie at like 2:00 in the morning on like a Wednesday? You know, so it is tough. I mean, we did go. We went up, Leo and I went up to one in Buffalo back, and it was a really good time. Like, we had a really good time, but it was a lot. You know, it was like a week-long thing. We didn't go up for the whole week, but it's a good festival, but it's just very long.
They could be really like emotionally and mentally exhausting too. Like, just randomly going up to people trying to peddle your work is super cringy. Like, hi, I made this movie. What do you do? Like,
so I take it you haven't done horror cons or anything yet, because that's what that's all about. Too.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love horror
for sure.
I want them to come back. How many cons would we have gone to already, Leo? That since this whole thing happened, like this.
Oh yeah, I bought extra vacation time just for extra cons this year. So.
And to tell you the truth, I was going to go to a whole bunch, because Jersey is a hotbed for something. You have New Jersey Horror Con, Chiller,
Monster
Mania. So at that point in time, it was like I had this whole thing lined up, because I went to a few, but I never really went, you know, deep into it. And then, you know, doing this show and wanted to go and, you know, meet some of the people we had on in person. I'm like, oh, this time I'm definitely I might hit all 3 and all this stuff. And then, of course, now they're pretty much canceled for the entire year. And it's just like, you got to wait and hopefully this,
Hopefully they come back. There's bigger ones that I have always wanted to go to that I like. And like I've said it before, like when they come back, if they come back, I have to make it like a priority. Like, okay,
like Texas Frightmare kind of deal.
Texas Frightmare. I need to go to Horror Hound. I want to do all those, but it's like I can't. No excuses anymore. I got to do it because who knows when it's going to be over.
Maybe you do a road trip with Tom. Maybe
I'm sure he'll love that.
You just lay on top of the
hearse. Yeah, he'll keep me in the back of the hearse. Tom from Deadly Grounds is who we're talking about.
If they ever open up the borders, I know Canada does quite a few horror cons as well, but it might be some time before that happens.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know. It's I mean, there's some good to it. Like I get to work from home now, so this is my office at work as well. So I get to hang out in here with all my toys because I'm 44 years old and I'm surrounded by toys. But anyways, so yeah, back into the movies, right? Tony, why don't you? I haven't shut up much.
Well,
so
actually, I was going to say, Daniel, you mentioned color coding. Let's talk about what everybody uses for editing. What software do you guys? And I know this is probably going to start a battle, but DaVinci. It's What do you guys use?
Well, for my film, I use Premiere Pro, but I had a colorist for my film, and he used DaVinci Resolve. So trying to figure out the workaround in post-production of how to import the DaVinci Resolve files into Premiere Pro is kind of a headache, but I eventually figured it out with a few YouTube tutorials. But that's basically all I use. I'm sure there's better softwares to use, but I'm more familiar with Adobe's products. So,
yeah, I use Premiere myself, and I was asked to do some editing in Final Cut, so I'm relearning that. And now they are asking me to do color grading, and I haven't done color grading before, so I need to try to figure that out. And so that'll be fun.
Good luck. And is that for the Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you guys from Jerks Productions? What's the software you guys use?
Do everything in Adobe Premiere. I know it very well. I stick with that. I edited Devine as well, and I did all my coloring and everything in there. It's probably not like the best option to do. Like I've never messed with DaVinci. I really want to because like I see the results from it and it's gorgeous. But I was able to achieve the look that I wanted with Adobe, and plus we had a lot of aids when we did practical shooting, a lot of gels and stuff like that really help set it and make color correcting a lot easier.
Yeah, and the great thing about Adobe is all the apps work together really well. So, it's you want to edit audio, you just automatically import into Audition. It's like all seamless.
Yeah, it blends so well. I really enjoy the Adobe suite.
Yeah.
Shawn, what about you?
So I was on quite the budget. We had I used Premiere, but it was Premiere Elements. My editor, that's what he had. So this is what we used, and he's familiar with it. So yeah, it was kind of a chore because there was definitely some bugs and glitching, so it took a little bit longer.
You got to work
just to edit with just that. But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, Premiere was for me. I'll probably upgrade to something for the full length. Maybe DaVinci. I was looking into that.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm just,
DaVinci is nice because it's
Because with Premiere you have the.
I think he was going to say Premiere. You have to pay
Just
them.
maybe the Premiere, the newer Premiere that has a subscription.
Yeah,
that subscription is expensive. There's ways around that. You can request student, discounts and other kind of stuff, but yeah, it's quite pricey.
Don't you have to prove that? Like,
you do. You kind of do, but like student can be kind of a subjective term. So
I just stand in front of a school, take a picture like this. Hey, please.
I hear the student
Point out how old I am. Me and my friend Bill did a public access TV show years ago, and we used an Amiga. And it was the built-in stuff on the Amiga, and it was VHS to VHS. Good times. Sorry.
What Amiga?
I have no idea. The one that was in the basement of Auburn High School in Auburn, Massachusetts. That one.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have any. But, you can do things with Amiga, right? Didn't they do like all the effects in T2 with an Amiga?
Back in the day, Amiga was the way to go. And there was something else also. But yeah, Amiga was like the graphic powerhouse when like PCs were still early on in like the 286 days and stuff.
Yeah, those old days. Everyone else on the show is way younger than both of us, so we should. I'm the one who brought it up, so it doesn't matter. You guys are like as old as our children. We don't even have kids. So, yeah, Tony.
Talking about budget. I mean, we've had how many full lengths that you would look at it and be like, oh, it got this, and it's made on a shoestring budget, and it's one of those things where I've said it many a times where people watch either full length or a short, and they think they have everything, know everything, and and they'll watch something and they have no idea what goes into it and how much money's put into it or what you have to do with it. And it's just amazing what people can do with, what they have. And it's one of those deals where, you never really know until you sit down and talk and have one of these, sit downs and stuff. I mean, Daniel, you're talking about using, glue sticks and stuff. And I wouldn't have even thought. And, it's the one thing I wanted to say before that I didn't get to bring up is how many times have me and Kev said, a lot of the time Kev says it, but you guys took that step. You said you wanted to see stuff and you took that step and made something, a lot of us haven't done. So it's one of those things I commend you.
Yeah. And one thing too, it's like you're talking about budget, and we've seen some like micro budget stuff that kind of blows us away. And it's if the story's good and if the pacing's good, then it is, especially with horror, it seems like a lot of horror fans are more forgiving, than someone who's like doing a low budget drama or a low budget comedy. Sometimes they, I can see people not being as forgiving, but I think, horror fans seem to be more forgiving of, they can overlook like, oh, they obviously don't have a great camera, or the sound isn't fantastic. If the story's interesting and it's original, especially, then it's awesome. I mean, so it's a cool thing you guys are doing, and I'm jealous because I've never done that. I've always wanted to, and I'm afraid to because I'm going to go broke and lose my house.
Well,
you should do an Indiegogo campaign or something.
I've also heard that is a lot of work.
It's not. It really, I thought it would be. And for my film, I wasn't even going to do one. And I had a friend, actually, she is actress in the film, Wendy German. She used to work for years applying for grants and things in Canada. And she's like, just do an Indiegogo campaign. And the one thing you have to realize, though, is that I think Indiegogo, I'm sure it's been talked about before, but they take a large chunk of your final percentage if you don't reach your milestone. Mm-hmm. So I set a very modest milestone budget, I think 2,500 Canadian, and we got about 3,800 by the end of it, and that's what we used for rentals of lights and food and paying some of my crew and things. But it's not as hard as you think. You just kind of have to pedal it and package it in a way that is appealing to people. And one thing that I really discovered was I had a lot of supportive friends and family that have been kind of watching me do film things throughout the years, and every little bit of money helps, and people were happy being just as a special thanks credit, donating $10, $20 here and there. Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting. So you should definitely look into it. I think it's worthwhile.
Well, I don't have any friends or families that are supportive. They all wish me the worst, and I'm sure at some point Leo will have the Kevin is the worst thing. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I actually have a T-shirt that says I'm the worst on it as well, and but yeah, you can purchase that at secretundergroundhideout.com. I don't know.
And what's not the worst?
Deadly Grounds coffee.
Exactly.
That was actually one of the best That's segues. Usually it's like.
I've been trying. But Deadly Grounds Coffee, now more than ever, we need to support local artists like our awesome guest here today, and awesome local businesses like Deadly Grounds Coffee right here in Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut, and a little mom and pop. Tom and his new bride, they bag all their coffee themselves, and
there's also the one in Canada as well.
Yep.
Get that.
But yeah, if you like awesome tasting coffee, definitely test them, check them out. But enough about me or talking about it. Here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
And right now, if you order online and place an order of over $50, you get free shipping. How good is that?
Very.
Yeah.
So if you're like Leo or Kev, that buy, well, I think Leo a little bit more, and buy like
A little bit, yeah.
15 bags, it'll be no problem.
I got 7 in my last order. 7. But that's because I wanted to get to the $50 point, So I also go for the cheap stuff. I don't go for like I go for the $9.99 a bag. He has a couple that are $12.99, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not that fancy. So
Are those like super special?
Well, yeah, they're like what's the guy's name from Face Off? He's a
Adam Green?
No, Tyler Green. Tyler something. I don't know. Green Francis. I don't know. So anyways, the Fan Expo Toronto, what was that comment?
Southern Fan Expo Canada.
Any of you guys ever go to that?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, I've been a few times.
Okay.
I've actually been with the guy that is commenting. He's
okay. Oh, he's just being at one of those things. And the Axe was awesome. I'm gonna check out the other films from the other guys. Nice. Yeah, check them all out. They're all great.
Angel wants to make a movie with you.
I know. It's he'll regret it. So
thank you.
I'm not gonna leave him alone about it now.
Yeah, and just a reminder, if you're interested in checking out any of these shorts, all of them should be this Friday. All of them will be available. Check the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening, and you have all the links right there.
Nice.
How cool is that?
Very.
So we've had plenty of people on from shorts to whatever, and a lot of the times they'll have stories behind anything that goes on, anything that messes up, anything from shooting locations or whatever. Is there anything behind the shorts that you guys have that made it longer to tape or made it fun to tape or whatever? Or so
yeah.
What's behind your shorts?
Yeah, you go. You can share this one.
So when we were filming it
was a makeup test day, I think.
I don't know. I thought it was the actual. It might have been our makeup test day. We were testing the big masterpiece conclusion of the film. There was a children's party. We had a studio in our neighborhood, and we were doing makeup. We needed to go down to the loading dock to use as our set, and there was a giant children's party happening. So we needed to cover up our actress in full blankets and try to hide her from scary makeup from children. And when you see the film, you'll understand why we couldn't show that publicly. And all the parents wanted to look under the blanket and see what was scary and laughing at us. And we're just trying to shuffle her along because she couldn't see or speak based on the makeup that was on her face, and having her in blankets and trying not to terrify the children at a birthday party with this bloody character walking down the hallway.
I would have just done it. I would
have did it, and they would remember that birthday forever.
I just drop it and be like, "Here you go."
Well, you're creating a new generation of horror fans right there. That's what it is.
One of the guys at the party was actually a coworker of ours from our day job, and 2 days later, when we're at work, he came up to us. He's like, "So what was under the blanket?" And I think Jill showed him a photo. He's like, yeah, that probably would have scarred my child. So I'm not going to show that.
I mean, there was more to the makeup, but she had her eyes and mouth sewn shut, and there was other elements to it. So that would have been would have terrified them. But it was good. So we walk out, we're like, okay, great. There's no one around. We can do it. And then all of a sudden, the children run out in the hallway, and I'm like, oh shit. So we had to just cover her up and just try to shuffle her really quickly down the hall.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
What about Shawn? Do you have any stories about all of the awesome that happens during your making your movies?
I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't have any particular story, any specific stories off the top of my head that I could tell, but I mean, yeah, I mean, the first couple shorts were so we the fun behind the scenes, just it's different when you're friends.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's a very more carefree. It's still a lot of pressure, of course, but like, you know, you can be a little more yourself, a little more relaxed at some points. Well, we did break a sink.
Oh.
Yeah, we fixed it with duct tape, so I guess the homeowner never realized it.
Oh wow! So it was something you rented, or it's like, yeah, we're gonna just film a movie and fuck up your plumbing. All right, cool.
For me, it would be.
I'm assuming it worked fine afterwards, so I'm guessing that
the duct tape worked. Yeah,
that was fine.
Sorry. Yeah, Daniel.
We had. I built a fake wall in my living room. Because I wanted something that my monster, not to give anything away, but there's something that happens where my painting kind of comes to life, and it required a false wall in my living room. And the cinematographer brought a bunch of lumber with it. But at one point, I didn't tell my partner this, so he's going to probably kill me after. But the wall fell over. And we all had to like hold it from hitting all of our furniture in our apartment because I shot it in our apartment. And I was like, oh my God. And I vowed never to do that again in my apartment. I'm not going to shoot a single thing here ever again because of that. But that was an interesting experience. And then what happened also on the same day was one of my actors didn't show up for my final scene. So we had to improvise, but it actually kind of worked out in our favor because we had a alternate twist ending that cut a bunch of dialogue, and I think it was actually a more effective ending than just having, you know, another conversation there. So
nice.
Happy accidents, I guess.
Yeah. The wall thing could have gone completely different too. The landlord could charge you for another bedroom, and you'd be like, "Yeah, now your rent went up." Whatever.
You know, maybe don't give up on that though, because we know another indie movie that they built everything in their home, and it turned out phenomenal.
Crawl or Die.
Crawl or Die, yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's very claustrophobic, like almost like aliens, like stuck in vents kind of thing, and it's
Which I think they're taping for the second one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it's all done like just in their like garage. They just like got like big pipes and whatever. It's very effective though. Like I legit was crawling out of my skin because I was like, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here! Like it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I live in a tiny Toronto apartment, so any kind of film production is extraordinarily disruptive to our routines and lives here. So I might shoot at my parents' house out in the middle of nowhere near Windsor, but you know, it's kind of an option. But
make it happen.
Yeah, you know that feeling all too well. Devine, I think, was like the first of 5 shorts that we didn't shoot in our apartment. The short before that was like a fishbowl movie we did where it was just in our bathroom, and we have like a 1-bedroom apartment, so our bathroom fits 1.5 people. So if you want to talk about claustrophobia, I know that feeling, and we vowed to never shoot in our apartment again after that short.
Oof, 1.5 people. So who got cut in half?
like half of me just kind of with the camera and lights, and the one guy in the bathtub.
You see him in every shot because there's mirrors everywhere too.
We did play with the mirrors, so it looked even tighter. Like when you play with mirrors like that and reflections, it's just like, oh, you ain't going anywhere. Anywhere you turn.
It's crazy, like how much you can get away with, like with camera tricks as well. Totally off subject, but I went to see Conan O'Brien multiple times when he was in New York, and the studio that he filmed in was tiny, and they would just like pan the camera, and right before it hit the other wall, they would go from the other side and pan over the other way. They made it look like gigantic. It was like maybe only like 150 people could fit in that room. It was tiny.
Well, same thing with Comic Book Men when we went to the stash.
Oh yeah. But anyways, Adam, sorry for throwing everything off. But anyways, we're actually almost at the hour point, so we should probably start getting people's plugs out and taping some syncs and do what we have to do.
I don't know if you want to play the trailers one more time for anybody that might have missed them.
We can do that. So let me see.
And unfortunately, we don't have the trailer. There's no trailers for Shawn's movies, but definitely go to his Vimeo and check out the shorts that are there. They're a good watch, and they're fun. And we just don't have a trailer for them, unfortunately.
So here's the trailer. The first one is Divine Inspiration.
Okay, so our first goal of the night is B-roll. So let's get people talking, schmoozing, all of the art on the walls, and I mean all of the art. And once we're finished, we'll find Jesse and interview her.
This is actually really exciting. I've never had anyone want to shoot me or my stuff before.
Oh yeah, we're really excited to be here too.
Yeah, man, it's really gonna help us pass.
Don't listen to him, he's just joking around.
Yeah, of course, obviously. Let's go to my studio and we can do the interview there. And you guys can get some pretty fantastic footage. You see, I didn't really view religion as secret as they did. I saw it as torture porn in a way. And I loved it.
Okay, you guys rolling?
Grace, why don't you join me over here? And behold, my name is Jesse Valentine, and I am an abstract artist.
And here is the acrylic.
I need some art for my apartment walls. Interested?
It was only for that color correction. I would have been. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Let's start with Shawn. Where do you like people following you on social media?
On Facebook, FaceMail Features. I'm also on Instagram. That's my personal Instagram. It's heavy_metal_horror. I also have Twitter. It's at FaceMelt Films. But mainly just use the watch the films on Vimeo.com. It's FaceMelt Features on Vimeo.com. I have double feature DVDs available as well if you are interested in that. I sell them for only $8 shipped.
Nice.
Just contact me through any social media and I can get that out to you.
Nice. And Daniel, how are you?
You can find me basically everywhere. I'm just at Daniel James Pike on Twitter and Instagram. And on my production company at County House Pictures is on Instagram and Twitter, although the Instagram is more active than my Twitter account. It's also on Facebook too if you search for County House Pictures, and on YouTube and everywhere else.
It's on
all the places.
Snapchat and I don't know. Just trying to think of different social media places.
MySpace.
Yeah. Friendster. Right, Friendster.
MySpace is still around, right?
It's completely different than it used to be.
I got a top 98 now. This is awesome. They're all that guy Tom.
I heard they did a server migration and they like lost, since it's like a music site now, they lost like a whole mess of artists like music.
Oh man, I'm so upset.
Yeah.
So Jerks Productions, where can people find you guys?
We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook and Instagram are Jerks Productions. Twitter is Jerks Production, no S, because of the, how many characters you can have.
Yeah.
On there, you'll see promotions for upcoming films. We also host art shows all around Philadelphia when the world kind of gets opening up again. So you'll see calls for that and a bunch of other things that are going on just stagnantly.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Go check out everyone's stuff. The links will be below, and the Jerks Production stuff comes out on Friday, the 31st, and the Vimeo, and it's all there. That's another thing that's one of the only good things about this whole pandemic thing is usually when the shorts are out, they're usually in the festival, so you have to be at a festival to see it. So now I can see it not in a festival because I always want to see them. Like there's so many that are out there that are like, oh yeah, it's doing the festival circuit for a year. It's like, I want to see it now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drive to wherever your festival's at. I'm sorry.
Tony.
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, whatever have you. Anything movies, I talk about them, show off my collection. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And, of course, here on The Dorkening, every Tuesday night on the Wicked Horror Show.
You don't use Twitter?
Not much.
No.
Tony, I just noticed you have Return to Oz on Blu-ray on your shelf. That's easily one of my favorite films of all time. It's so demented.
It's one of those movies that I still don't understand how it's like put out by Disney. It's just so many scenes in that haunt me. I think I'm haunted more by scenes in that movie than some of the horror movies I watch now. I'm just like,
definitely.
What the hell am I watching?
It's exceptionally disturbing. Everyone was expecting a jolly musical from Judy Garland, and they got this journey into a mental health clinic for electric healing. it's very strange.
Good time. I think I bought mine like super cheap at some discount store. Like I got the Blu-ray too, and I think it was like maybe like $5.
Disney, they had a sale, and I'm part of the VIP club and all this stuff, so I got it for even cheaper. So I did a video of the movies I got from there. So
you win, Tony. All right.
Thank you.
Well, even the original one is kind of dark though, because you got the little person that hung themselves.
No, he didn't.
No, it was a bird. It was like an ostrich.
It's a fallacy.
Yeah.
But that one's 10 times.
Anyways,
it's disturbing for how they treated Julie Garland. That's horror in itself.
She was drunk the whole time. She was drunk the whole time. So anyways, you can find me, A-Knuckle, on Twitter and Instagram, even though I don't use Twitter as well. And Tuesday here on the Wicked Horror Show. And then also I do reviews with the 13th Wolfman over on the audio side of the show. And part of Secret Underground Hideout and Black and White Fright, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. And Leo, where can we find you besides Farmers Only?
Yeah. For me, just Google Leo Pine. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but more importantly, check out our awesome guests. All the links are below or above. And head on over to thedorkening.com, where you can find all the shows on the network. Just about 30 shows right now. A lot of awesome, yeah, a lot of awesome
give or take 20. Give or take a dozen.
No, it's about, yeah. Last time I checked, it's 28. Oh, almost 30.
You'd think you'd know. So, yeah.
Well, that's about it. We'll catch you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.